Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa! Alright, we got a lot of stuff to get into today. It's pretty early, actually. It's 10:30 in the morning right now. And, yeah, I've gotten some practice done. I've been editing and all that. This is a practice log, by the way. So that means today I'm gonna play something for you. You'll see what I've been working on. Yeah, but first, of course, we're gonna make some small talk and, get into that. Yeah, you guys remember that last chair log that I posted? That was basically just like an ad for my Patreon in the seminar. That's going on. I've gotten a few members in that already. If you want me to show you what I think is a proper first couple classical guitar lessons, if you're interested in teaching, go ahead and sign up for that. And then of course, like the OutSchool link is in the description if you want to start teaching on there, all that stuff. All right. I feel like I'm always just selling to you guys. I don't mean to be like that. It's just, you know, like I'm gonna be moving soon. That's gonna be a nightmare. The town that I'm moving to is so expensive, and it is like, don't use that to geo-guess me. It's not gonna work. There are a lot of expensive towns. But man, I would think that the rent's going to be cheaper moving in with someone, but it's actually going to be the case that the rent is like slightly more expensive than it is living alone in my current town. But you know, it's fine. I'll just put on my seminars and that'll cover it. Yeah, my practice is going good. I've been going pretty hardcore on that Soar etude, the Segovia's first one. I don't know what it actually is. And the Soar Mozart variations, I played that for you last time. I just had a lesson where we talked about that again. Man, I already feel like it's so different. Especially the introduction, and especially my weakest variation, which if you remember from that recording that you heard, was this one. Yeah, so there's a lot of metronome practice on that, and I'm finding that I like always play it too fast, and that's pretty much what trips me up. But when you play it at a proper speed and you don't rush the slurs, like, it's better than it was, for sure. So that's been good. The fugue, I'm changing some things with the fugue. It's funny, we watched that Julian Brie masterclass where I made fun of one of the guys for using, like, all those slurs. Which, to be fair, he was using slurs and it was, like, going out of time. But I'm relearning the beginning of the fugue in a lower position. So it's coming out to more of this. So, you know, I'm going to be working that in. I'm not ready to play that quite yet, but I've just been working on that first section, just redoing how I'm playing it, pretty much. Yeah, but you know, enough about me. How's your practice coming along? Hope it's going well. Cool. Alright, I think we can use the rest of our time to answer some comment questions, shall we? This is kind of an interesting topic. This one is from Frank Triggs. This is from one of my Rick Beato videos, so you know it's a good one. Do you create your own music, or just play what musicians created? That's just a genuine question, I guess. I feel like there are some undertones in that, and I hear that so often from people who aren't classical musicians, and I even hilariously hear it from jazz musicians. When it comes to the stereotypes of creating your own music and how we're just like playing other people's music, jazz musicians are like just as bad. Who's making an original jazz album that anybody actually cares about? And go ahead and post your original jazz albums. I've never heard of them. I'm listening to Oscar Peterson play freaking Christmas hits. I got my BA in music too, studied for years, but realized early on it made me a player of music, not a creator or artist. Well, yeah, I don't think you need a BA to become a creator or artist. I think you need schooling and education, or rather you just need to be taught to like play music with like historical context, or at least you need to like research it. It's easier when you have a teacher who knows what they're doing though. But if you just want to make music on your own and there is no historical context, it's just whatever you feel like making, yeah, you don't need a BA to do that. A real musician is one that invents music with a beat that dictates the terrain. Real music needs a beat. You sound like Ben Shapiro right now. It needs to have rhythm, it needs to have a melody, and it needs to have a harmony, and if it lacks one of those things, then it's not technically music. But yeah, to answer your question, I've created lots of music. I've been a guitarist since I was 11, and I never had like a band per se. Like I would do work for bands like when I was in college, or like I gigged like musicals a few times, and this is all like electric guitar, and I played in bands that weren't like my bands. I never had like a garage band. But I did have a band in high school that I'm not gonna like talk about at all. We have like music videos online. They're like stupid. It was like a comedy band. We had like 50 subscribers by the end of it. I think we put out like 6 or 7 songs. But yeah, no, that was all original music. It all sucks, and that's why I'm not even gonna share it because it's like embarrassing. No, and then after that, it's funny because I'm listing all this stuff and I'm just not gonna say any of it. I released music in college on my own on SoundCloud under a name that's not my current name. I'm not gonna say that one either. I think I did like 3 songs on there, and then I released one more after that, and that was with a band. Again, we never like played or anything like that. We were a band that, like many modern bands, that just lived on like, we just recorded stuff and we never actually performed it. That one was called Tin Hat Society, and you can find that on Spotify. We have a whopping 1 song. It's still there. You can just use like DistroKid to put your music on Spotify. That band kind of sucks too, but it's not like completely embarrassing as like the last stuff was. But we were also going for like a hard rock kind of sound on that. It wasn't like a super original sound. Yeah, we haven't done anything with that name in a while. Other than that, do I create music that's like classical guitar oriented? I do, actually. I love composing music, and I'm throwing around like composing a little loosely here. I compose like a guitarist does, which involves improvising, and then once I establish something, then I'll like write it down and then maybe tweak it from there. But yeah, like I've gone through phases where I write more. I haven't written much in a while because right now my focus has been preparing for grad school, and now I'm going to be going into grad school, and my only focus there is just getting as good at classical guitar as I possibly can. But I will say that improv and like playing around on guitar, you know, just like playing guitar. Like, when I learn how to play music on guitar, my goals are to better understand just how music works, and to make connections using that music, and then have it eventually kind of seep into the stuff that I start playing with on guitar. That's kind of the stuff that makes me happy with music, like just solo, like playing guitar, you know. So yeah, like I've composed, like I don't have that much stuff written down. Like I maybe have like 5 or so minutes of guitar music like actually written out. And in fact, like something that I really like to do is I'll write these things called like sketches or maybe impromptus, whatever I feel like calling them. And they'll just be like a minute and a half long or so. I have 3 of them that I remember. I'll play like a little bit of some. So here's the first one. You know, they're very like loose and kind of like impressionist-y. Like I have one. Wherever it goes from there. I haven't played that in a while. But I'll write like little minute-and-a-half pieces like that, and then I'll use them as sort of a foundation for improv. I think it's cool to like try to base them off of pieces that I'm working on too. I guess I consider that like kind of the music that I would make, at least on classical guitar. I haven't written like a song in so long, like with lyrics and stuff, because I used to do that kind of often. And yeah, like I would post them and stuff, but like, I'm sure we've all experienced when we write our songs, like nobody cares. It's fun, it's a fun outlet, but at least for me, it's not gonna like do anything. Yeah, like I've been a musician for a long time, like, and classical's not the only thing that I've done. And though this is by like my fault too, because I'm sure I present myself in a certain way that would make someone think this, but it is always funny when people like see my videos and they just assume that I've like actually never heard of like super famous artists, or like I've never like written music, like I've only ever just played classical. I've like never improvised before. Yeah, no, I've been playing guitar for a long time, and I like playing guitar. I do it a lot. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much that. Do I think that you need to write music like that to be a real musician? No, that's like stupid. But I get where you're coming from though. I can see why you feel like that's the case. Oh yeah, so that pretty much covers that. Sorry, am I getting like a little serious here? Alright, hopefully I talked enough to make this an actual practice log. But what I'm gonna do now is play a little bit of guitar. I'm just gonna play through some stuff. I'm gonna warm up a bit and then play. And yeah, we're gonna call it a day after that. Alright, so this is the first Sor Segovia study. So, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Hey, well, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And of course, if you want some guitar lessons, reach out and I'll put you on the waiting list. If you want to learn how to teach some beginner classical guitar lessons, join that seminar that I'm putting on May 3rd. It's on Patreon, link in the description, of course. And yeah, merch, head on down over to Rutan's Delight for some merch. Link in the description for that. I got lots of links for you, so click on all of them. None of them are viruses, I promise. I'll see you in the next one.